Roland-Garros, Paris, it's a time and a place to sit back, relax and enjoy the tennis as some of the best in the world go about their business. Now the stakes are high, the fans are very aware and the support is crucial. The tennis transfixes and terrifies in equal measure. Some simply cannot bear to look, while for others it all gets just a little bit too much. The levels are strong, the competition is fierce. Under sunny skies, the action plays out to packed Parisian crowds. Day 12 in Paris, you're watching live at RG. We have reached the business end of the competition, and here for you is a little bit of what's coming up on tonight's show. The sun shines down on the 10-time champion as he reaches semi-final number 11. Simona Halep holds on to top spot by reaching her third Roland-Garros final. And Sloane Stephens reaches her second Grand Slam final first here in Paris. Welcome to the show. It's really lovely to have you with us. If you'd like to get in touch with us, use the hashtag RG18 on Twitter. You can follow the show via the YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can go to rolandgarros.com for all the latest results, news stories and goings on. And I'm very happy to say that with me this evening, Nick McCarville and Camille Pain. And Camille, we had a little bit of bonus tennis yesterday after the early stop last night because of the rain. We've had blue skies, sunshine and plenty of tennis.
What a day. It was fabulous. For the people coming here, it was magical to have those guys playing today, and the semifinals were really good. And I really liked the Halep play today, and also the Americans facing each other. So there was a lot of nice things, and the matches were like awesome because they were like started again. So a lot of history today.
And Nick, we got lucky once again with the weather.
Yeah, we really did. We had reached a pattern where I didn't believe the forecast, and then yesterday the rain came. But finally today, I can't exaggerate enough. It is an absolute beautiful day in Paris. All of the big matches that we had on the schedule for today, they're done, and we've got blue skies behind us, hopefully ahead of us for the weekend too.
It was really hot on court. Because I was on the Châtrier, by the court, the whole match of Halep and Muguruza, and it was really hot for players. A little bit of breeze, but very nice.
And were you sweating a little?
I was a little bit. You say that you're close to me.
Nick, ladies don't sweat, they glow.
Of course, you glisten.
Right.
You were
Camille was glistening and glowing. Now one man who made a charge to Susan Lenglen to catch the end of the tennis, but I fear, Eli, that the tennis may have finished.
Just finished, Gigi, just finished, and Nicolas Mahut and Pierre-Hugues Herbert are qualified for the Roland-Garros finals doubles. It's huge. It's Davis Cup atmosphere on the court here. It was Les Bleus, everybody was cheering them on. Crazy story because beginning of the match, I think second game or third game, Pierre-Hugues Herbert just totally lights up Mahut in the ear with a forehand. He's standing 2 meters from him, literally knocks him out. Nicolas Mahut couldn't walk straight, had to leave the court. He wasn't sure whether he was going to be able to play at all. Came back, he was in tears because he saw his dream of attempting to win this tournament for a second time just shatter in front of his eyes. But they managed to get him back on his feet. The medical team helped him, and they huffed it out, really, and they beat the Croatian and Austrian players to make it to the finals. They have won 11 titles together, these guys. They've won 2 Grand Slams, US Open and Wimbledon. Nicolas Mahut, as I said, he had made the finals here with Michael Liodra a few years ago and lost. It was a shattering experience for him. They're back in the finals, and this is going to be huge for the French fans. After tomorrow, the second semifinal is being played tomorrow. There's another Austrian-Croatian pair there playing the Lopez team, or the Lopai, Gigi, as you choose to call them. So, yeah, this was exciting moments here on court. Suzanne Lenglen, players are walking off the court, and we're going to go try and get some reactions for you guys. Catch you later in the show.
Eli, thank you very much. And Camille, Nicolas Mahut, he was down and out when that ball hit him just at the back of the ear. He was in tears and he had to leave the court, and they were worrying moments.
Yeah, actually, a lot of emotion in this match with what this happened, and with the team, they were managed to just go over this situation to win this match. That's why he's crying. I mean, reaching a final is always something here in Paris, but all those things he managed to go over this pain and this feeling of dizziness, and that's why that this victory is much nicer. Even it was, you see, it was really strong on the. He just played full energy, Pierre-Hugues Herbert. and really impressive. And that's why I think they are really close. They are very good friends. They help each other a lot. So I think Pierre Gerber helped Nicolas to come back and to be there and listening to him. So that they have a really nice relationship, and it helps to win those kind of matches.
And I think he might have a little bit of a headache in the morning, but Herbert and Mahou are
Whatever,
through.
they're in final.
They are through to the men's doubles final. Now, we've got plenty of action to get stuck into it, so we want to get started running through how it panned out today. And one of the first matches out on court featured the 10-time champion Rafa Nadal. And Nick, when this match was called last night due to the rain, Diego Schwartzman would look at the scoreboard and think, this is a good position. Today, different story.
Yeah, no, today, completely different story. Schwartzman came in having won that first set, surprising everyone, I think, including Rafael Nadal, who was a little out of sorts yesterday. The conditions weren't lending to his style of play yesterday. Today, hot, sunny, as we were talking about courtside, and Rafa came out and meant business from the start. They played some incredible points, but it really did feel like Rafa found his best tennis today and was able to come through in straight sets, having dropped that first set yesterday.
Yeah, he just did everything better. He hit the ball better, he served better, and also like the clay court being fast helped him a lot. Everybody knows that it's the opposite. We think, oh, Rafa is good when it's heavy. No, he's good when it's fast and when it bounces quick. And it's really difficult for players to play good when he's hitting us hard on this kind of clay.
And Gigi and I had breakfast together in the hotel this morning. We looked out the window and Gigi said, it is a sunny, warm day. And Diego Schwartzman's waking up thinking, I don't think I like these conditions, right?
Did he
so you had breakfast together, so that's the information.
I don't know what we're starting here. We have breakfast together most mornings.
I was not there, but
and it's lovely.
Next time.
Next time.
Camille, you're invited every morning.
Always.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
A little bit early, but in terms, are we playing too much on the conditions and how they changed? Or did Rafa Nadal simply sleep well and get up and just have a better day today? How much do we go on these conditions and the changes?
For sure it helps, because his kind of game is much more efficient, and it's tougher for opponents to play him when it's dry like that. But it's not only that. For me, he had a long talk with the coaches. He's really close to his team, and I think he got some help from them a lot, talking, and just maybe they said, okay, now you had to hit harder, you had to go for this zone, and he listens a lot to his team, and I think it was a help for him.
And this is a tough opponent for him, Diego Schwartzman, who he's played before. He's a tough guy. He gets everything back. He was playing more aggressive against Rafa yesterday. I think that threw Rafa off a little bit. And as Camille is saying, he gets to go back to his team, talk about, okay, what do I need to do well? Because even Rafael Nadal at Roland-Garros, he needs to readjust, but he's that good that he can do so and comes out and essentially wins in straight sets today, plays his best tennis, and takes that confidence into the semifinals.
And here for you is a little bit of what the world number one had to say when he came in very quickly to his post-match press conference.
Sometimes you play better, sometimes you are more nervous. Quarterfinals, important match for me. Was a match that maybe is a key match. So this kind of matches that can give you the chance to keep going, or for another side you lose all the chances. No, against a tough opponent that I had problems with him in Australia, I had problems with him in Madrid. Even if it was 6-3, 6-4, was a uncomfortable match for me. I know it's going to be a tough match, and I was a little bit more nervous than usual. That's why.
He came into press so quickly that he was still sweating. He had to put a baseball cap on because it was dripping off him. And none of the journalists were actually there because he came in. We're just not used to him coming in that quickly, but he did. Someone who took a little bit more time before he spoke to us and was asked about the conditions was Nadal's coach, Carlos Moya.
Not so much about the sun, but about his attitude. I think yesterday, first set, it was sunny. Then after the rain delay, we came back and the conditions were very heavy, and that's when he played his best. So until a certain point, it's true that the sun, it helps him, but he has to be aware that he can adapt to both conditions and yeah, try to be aggressive no matter what's the weather.
And we wanted to bring you some reaction from the Diego Schwartzman camp, and who better to get reaction from than his mum, Silvana.
I am very, 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 very happy. I say today that I see all the places without people. it's what my dream stay here without people, because I say my son is in the second week of Roland-Garros, so I am very, very happy. I love him so much. He's a very good player, a very, very extraordinary person, and all the stadium say Diego, Diego, Diego. Between Rafa, it's not normal for me. So I am very, I cry, I cry in the match, because I can see all the people, Diego, 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 and it's very, very well.
A very emotional day for Silvana Schwartzman, the mother of Diego. Now, I'm very happy to say that our special guest this evening wears many hats. One of them is as coach to one of the best there's ever been. It's wonderful to have Patrick Mouratoglou with us. Thank you, Patrick.
You know
for
how to
joining us.
make people feel comfortable.
Yeah, we do.
I like that.
We try it. We can play it again if you'd like.
Please.
I'm thinking that, and I'm really happy you're here, especially so because you're always busy. You have different hats. You have the academy you look after. You're an author. You're a commentator, coach to Serena Williams. But I imagine here in Paris, it's an especially busy couple of weeks for you.
To be completely honest, it's always very busy during Grand Slams because it's the biggest event by far in tennis. And yeah, as you said, first of all, the time I spent for Serena is always the most important, my priority number one, and it takes a lot of time because you have the practices, you have the matches. Sometimes she plays doubles, even though she should not. Plus, all the time we need to spend out of the court to talk and all this. And then I do TV. We have a few meetings. I work for the radio also here because I love tennis. And every time I have the opportunity to talk about tennis, I take it.
And can I ask you mentioned Serena, can I ask you a question about how she is? She mentioned she's going for an MRI. And then she hinted on Instagram that she had good news with the pec muscle injury.
Yeah, it's good news. I mean, she has definitely a muscle problem that will take probably 2 weeks to heal. But in 2 weeks, she'll be able to go back to practice and get ready for Wimbledon. So that's good news. It could have been worse. We were fearing a tear muscle, which would have been a real problem because then you need 1 month to recover. So Wimbledon would have been in danger.
Okay, well, that's good news.
Yeah, that is very good news. Patrick, we talked a couple times during Serena's run, but how happy were you or how satisfied were you with the progress that she was making in her matches through Roland-Garros?
I was very happy because I know how much work she's done, she's achieved. And believe me, it was much more difficult to come back than what she expected. Not from what I expected, but she's always very optimistic, and and that's a great quality. She always feels she's going to achieve things without any problem, and I don't want to take that away from her. So I didn't say anything, but I knew it would be difficult because having a baby is like it's a whole change for the body, but she had no experience of that. So she came to Mouratoglou Academy in just before Madrid. We agreed on the fact that she was absolutely not ready to compete. And those 5 weeks that we had, believe me, she worked like I've never seen her work before. So, I mean, it would have been very disappointing if she would not have the level expected. Would have been surprised too because she was playing unbelievably well at practice, moving much better. What was missing was the competition because she didn't compete for a long time. And the only competition she had was in Indian Wells, Miami, but she was so far from her level that she could not really compete well. So that was the question mark, but match after match, she found back her this competing spirit that she has that is so special, and she was building up, and she was feeling more and more confident, and that's why it was also painful for her to be stopped like that because she was feeling, wow, I'm in the second week, I'm playing better and better, I'm ready, I'm gonna win this one.
And I believe a lot of people were surprised about her level. Were you surprised because she was like competing. Okay, but the level was very good. She was serving good, the forehand as well. Like we were just finding back Serena. Do you think it was quick, the way she came back?
No, I don't. I don't think so because I've seen her at practice.
We didn't, so I was surprised, but I'm
Yeah.
listening to you and I'm
No.
impressed. Yeah.
You know what? During those 5 weeks at Mourad Academy, she's been practicing also with guys, but guys who are top players like Kokinakis, Tomic, Popyrin. He's not as famous as the other ones because he's younger, but he's already 400 ATP. Like those guys, and they were impressed. They were saying, "Wow, we would never expect a woman to play like that." They were shocked. She was really getting super fit, hitting very hard, being very intense. So I knew her level was there. The question was more about how competitive she could be in a match. Even though I was not very stressed either about that because it's a quality that she's always had. It's something, she's such a natural competitor. So I knew this would come back at some point. But she was maybe in danger in the first 2 rounds because I didn't know if it would come so fast or not. Actually, it did not in the first match. It was a bit shaky, but after the first set of the second match against Ashley Barty, she started to play unbelievable tennis and competing incredibly well.
Plenty of positives for Serena Williams to take out. I'm going to jump in because we're going to go back to Eli, who is joined by the coach of Garbiñe Muguruza, who was beaten earlier today by Simona Halep, Sam Sumik.
Sam, thank you so much for being with us live here. We're in the Players' Lounge. The game has ended an hour ago or so. How is Garbiñe feeling, and how do you feel about what happened today? How do you analyze it?
Well, I think Simona played amazing. I think she was obviously the best player out of the two. She obviously deserved to win. No, she did everything better than Garbiñe today. So in one way you have a little bit of a little bit of regrets, and in the other way you're like, well, the best one won. Simple as that.
Is that how Garbiñe is feeling also, or is she really disappointed?
No, it's too soon because everybody feels bad about it. Garbiñe and the rest of the team. Obviously, you don't feel good after this. This is an opportunity for a final of a Grand Slam. This is special. So, but hey, Simona. No, I believe Simona was much better than Garbiñe. Simple, very simple. There's no point to overanalyze everything. We just didn't perform, the way we should have done.
Was the strategy to play the middle of the court and give her not very much angles? That's what it looks like she was trying to do.
No, not really.
Okay.
But probably Simona didn't, allow Garbiñe to develop her game plan. And this from the first point to the last point. So that's a pretty big performance from one player if you're able to make the other one feel that way. So now again, all credit to Simona.
And now you're headed immediately to go practice on grass. What's the plan now for Garbiñe?
For Garbiñe, I think she has few things to do in terms of obligations and stuff like that, and then she's gonna rest, of course, and I don't know, and ocean.
You have a chance to go to Bretagne and relax a little bit?
I'm going tomorrow morning, first hour. So the ocean is, the option for me tomorrow.
Okay, this guy's going to the ocean. You guys can continue the show. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Eli, and it's lovely to hear from Sam Sumik. So at this point, I want to bring in the highlights, Patrick, from that match, Simona Halep against Garbiñe Muguruza. And something that people have been talking about with regard to Simona Halep is the mental strength and how mentally she's getting herself out of sometimes, not today, but difficult positions.
Yeah, this is a player that, kind of should have won a Grand Slam already. She was close so many times because of the quality of her tennis. She's playing incredible tennis, and now she's very solid. It's not a player that is so much in danger in the first week of a Grand Slam. That's what she improved so much in the last 2 years. It's how a fighter she became, because she was not such a fighter in the past. She was giving up too early in the matches. This changed radically, and the quality and the solidity of the game that she plays. And she's moving incredibly well. She's, her whole game is solid. There are no weaknesses. Maybe the second serve is a little bit of a good weakness, but everything else is pretty solid. Yeah, there is like a mental block, let's call it like this, in the finals of the Grand Slams, but it's not going to last long, believe me. I mean, soon or late, but probably soon she's going to win her first Grand Slam, and then she will win a few.
Let's have a listen to what Simona Halep had to say when she came into her post-match press conference.
Don't know what I will change. Probably nothing, because I will keep my routine. I have more experience now. I feel calm. I feel that I have to enjoy today the victory, because it's a great match. And I have 2 more days until I will play the final. So I will stay chill. I will relax, and then we will see what is going to happen Saturday. But for sure, I will fight for every ball.
She looks very chilled and very relaxed. We also got some reaction from her coach, Darren Cahill.
I think Simona played really well, right? It's an opponent she's had a lot of trouble against, and Garbiñe plays with a lot of power, and Simona made a few little changes to the way she's played against her, and they worked really well. And just think her intensity and her aggressiveness, especially from the first point of the match and continued the whole way through the match, I was really happy she stuck to a game plan. And in the end, it could have gone either way. The second set, it was a tough fought second set, but Simona did well to dig it out, and I'm delighted she won. The physical part definitely played a part. Simona gave everything she had, and in the end came out, and that 4-all game was huge. I think it maybe took about 15 minutes, a lot of break points, a lot of game points, a bit of emotion, so that was a draining game, and Simona did an incredible job to get through that one.
And Patrick, Simona Halep will face Sloane Stephens in the final, who was ruthless against her very, very, very good friend Madison Keys.
Yes, that's true. I just want to add something. This game at 4-all was decisive for sure, and what Simona didn't do well in the past in those matches that she lost was on the big moments she became a bit passive, and today she was not. So when she says she learned, I'm sure it's about that. It's about the fact that now she knows that at key moments, if she's too passive, it's not going to work. She has to play to win, and it's something she did great today. So now talking about this match, Madison against Sloane, I mean, for me, that's the match that I expected, because you have a player who's very aggressive, but who doesn't always make the right tactical choices, who's a bit missing too much, and especially on the big points, against another player who's always making you play another shot, who's moving incredibly well, who's incredibly smart on the court. She played so smart today, that was fantastic to watch, and who's incredibly solid, and especially on the key moments. That's a huge difference, and I think that it's a bit a shame that Madison doesn't really progress in that, because this has been going for a few years already, and this is a player that should win a Grand Slam. I mean, it's not normal that this player, with the quality of her tennis, the power she has on the serve, forehand, backhand, doesn't win a slam. Something's missing.
Is that the mental side of things again, if you say she's got everything else in the game?
It's a combination of factors. It's mental, but mental is also how do I handle the big points? You know, when it's 4-2, 30-all, and you hit a double fault, I mean, this is the moment you have to play better. The best players on those points, they play better. If you play worse, you have no chance to win those matches against the top ones. So this thing is important, how to play the big points. She has to be more solid in her game. She misses too much. Then she has to play a bit smarter. She plays too much hard in the middle. She has to use angles. It's a combination of many factors. But if she puts all these things together, she's a player that can win a few Grand Slams. If she does not, she will stay there. She will always be in quarters, in semis, because she's a great player, but she's not going to pass this final round.
Yeah. I believe that to deal with those moments, she will have to talk with her coach and mental coach to just find a plan that she's going to use all the time, because that's the main tool for all the players almost. I don't ask for Patrick for Serena, but I'm pretty sure on big moments she knows what to do, because she she does it well. And I believe the last game she missed maybe 3 forehands, like 1 meter. It's I go cross court all the time. I hit hard, but I play only cross court, whatever. And you don't see that right now with Madison. And I believe it's going to be a key for her to win a Grand Slam, because she's so powerful. It's amazing what she can do, but in those moments she's lost. You see that she's just hitting strokes and she doesn't have a plan.
That's a good point. She's 5-2 down in the second. She comes back to 5-4. Sloane has the pressure, the whole pressure on her shoulders, and then she starts the game 30 love because Madison misses 2 shots in a row, first shot. This cannot happen if you want to win a Grand Slam. You can't do that. So you're totally right. You have to have patterns of play that you apply on the big points, the big moment where you have more emotion, so you don't give the point to the opponent.
Sloane Stephens was 957 in the world in July last year. I know she had a catalogue of injuries. She will be world number 4 on Monday. And following her win, we got reaction from her coach, Camus Murray.
They had a good battle first round at DC last year where Sloane had a set point. And it was during Sloane sort of coming back from the injury, so I think the endurance wasn't quite there. You know, for this weekend, I'm just really looking for Sloane just to have fun, just to breathe, and just to play a little bit more free. We've been traveling for 5 weeks together, so, you know, that can be grueling if you don't make it fun. So, you know, I like to have fun, and, you know, at the end of the day, she has a good life, I have a good life. No one needs to be too worried about not eating dinner tonight. But at the same time, you want to, you know, do as best you can and try to win all the matches possible. So, I mean, that's the goal, is just to compete, enjoy it, realize the opportunity, and capitalize on it.
Camus Murray, the coach of Sloane Stephens. We have another match to bring you, so we're now going back into the day, Patrick, because we've got Juan Martín del Potro, Marin Cilic. We thought this might last days, because when they resumed today, they were still in the first set. And I think for a lot of people, it's the emotion that you get from Juan Martín del Potro. At the end of this, he was in tears as he was trying to carry out his encore interview.
That's why everybody loves this guy. I mean, he's always giving everything on the court. He's always very emotional because he just lives his tennis. And we know what he's been through, and it has probably to do with that also. I mean, so many wrist surgeries. He thought at some point he would never be able to come back to a tennis court and to play tennis anymore. Then after the surgeries, he couldn't really use his left wrist anymore, so he was slicing his backhands. Even slicing his backhands, which was not his natural shot, he was finding a way to win big matches, and he beat incredible players at big moments. But it was difficult, I mean, to go up to the end of a Grand Slam with this weakness, because his game was not balanced anymore. And lately, his 200 backhand came back because his wrist started to feel better. And now he has his 200 backhand back, and playing great tennis. So for him, it's like, it's a dream. It's just taking probably all the positive, and to be able to play his tennis 100% without any pain and win those matches and play those matches. I mean, and that's so great to see. I commented the match he played against Dominic Thiem at the US Open. It's one of the biggest matches ever I've seen, and I've commented it. It was just incredible. The heart he puts on the court is just fantastic, and that's why everyone loves this guy.
Well, and if we think back to March, just a few weeks ago, and what he was able to do in Indian Wells and Miami, play incredible tennis, and as Patrick's saying, the backhand is now a weapon, but he believes that he should be back in the top 5, because when you come back from those injuries, there's so much doubt in your body, in your mind on the big points, and he's been able to change that, and he's back into the semifinals here for the first time in 9 years, and he's playing tennis that he believes in. And we talk about conditions, sure, Rafael Nadal has almost been insurmountable at this tournament, but a hot, bouncy day for Juan Martín del Potro, you've got to give Delpo a chance when he takes on Rafa.
And have a quick listen to what Juan Martín del Potro had to say when he came in to speak to the press.
I'm feeling so happy to make the right decision for play here, and I am doing well. And of course, I didn't expect to get in semifinals a couple of weeks before, but now I'm here and I'm still alive. My physically it's good, and hopefully I can be ready for tomorrow.
Okay, so he's still alive. That was the great news from the post-match press conference from Martín del Potro. We look at the order of play tomorrow. It's men's semi-final day, Patrick. What kind of chance do you give Cecchinato against Dominic Thiem, Juan Martín del Potro against Rafa Nadal?
Well, I don't give a lot of chances to Cecchinato to beat Dominic Thiem, to be completely honest. Okay. I think, I mean, he played the tennis of his life the whole tournament. He has nothing to lose, and a player who has nothing to lose is always dangerous. But I think just tennis-wise and physically-wise, I mean, Dominic is just so much better than him. So I think it's going to be very difficult for him. I think he just, I mean, he played the tennis he had to play, and great for him. But he got a bit lucky also because... I mean, there are some matches. For example, Novak. I mean, was completely not there that day. He didn't play. I mean, it was not the Novak we know. It was not the Novak that played since the start of the tournament. He beat David Goffin, who completely missed his match also the round before. I mean, credit to him, because not everyone would have won these matches, even though the guys were not at their best. He's a good clay court player, but he has against him a fantastic clay court player, a guy who reached 3 times in a row the semifinals here. A guy that everybody thinks is going to win Roland-Garros one day, and this one day can come fast, who knows? And such a dangerous tennis player on clay, incredible player on clay. So I don't think he will have a chance in that match. I can be wrong, but I don't think so.
The chance of Del Potro?
Well, that's a good one, because Del Potro is the type of player that Rafa hates, because he's a player that takes time away from him, and we know that Rafa doesn't like it. Actually, when Schwartzman did it in the first set really well, Rafa was hitting it, because when this happens, he moves back and he plays short, and as he plays short, he gives the opportunity to the opponent to keep being aggressive, and this is really what he dislikes. Of course, Juan Martin will have to serve incredibly well and be as aggressive as he can, and the good thing is he's very tall, so he's not so much in trouble on the high top spins of Rafa. I say it's a good thing, because we all want to see a great match tomorrow. Of course, Rafa is the player of the century.
You can tell us you
on
are
clay.
for Del Potro. There's no problem.
No, I mean, I'm not for Del Potro, but I want to see. I really want to see a good match, and I think that if Del Potro plays at his level and plays the match that we can expect from him, we're going to see a great battle with 2 players who are going to try to dominate and to dictate, because Rafa did it well after the rain. He was saved by the rain, actually, 2 times in a row. Huh?
Yeah,
because in the final of Rome, it was the same. Saved by the rain and by his coach afterwards, because he came back with completely different mindset. But we saw in that match against Schwartzman that when he's defensive mentally, he's in danger. But when he's offensive, is almost unbeatable. So there will be a great battle to dictate in that match.
Those matches start tomorrow at 1 p.m. local time. We are, before we go this evening, going to rejoin Eli, who's alongside a special guest who's been in the studio with us this week. Eli.
Yeah, with our live at Roland-Garros favorite, Kim Clijsters. Kim, could you give us a little bit of a preview of the women's final, how you see this final unfolding?
I mean, if we go on the type of tennis that both women have been playing in the semis, I think we have a great final ahead of us. I mean, Simona Halep today was very impressive. The way that she stepped out, from the start of the match, very dominant, obviously with a very clear game plan of trying to take it to Muguruza. She played very aggressively and served well, and really just tried to step into the court. And I think that's something she's also going to have to do against Sloane, because Sloane will really try to be dominant. And Sloane has been a different player since she won the U.S. Open. She seems a lot more mature out there. She carries herself differently, and she has the belief. Once you've won one Grand Slam, there's a different belief, and then you want to win your second one, and so it will be a very interesting match. Obviously, I think Sloane has the bigger weapons, is a great mover as well, but I think Simona is a better mover on clay, so it will be very interesting to see. Who will be able to just be a little bit better on the day, but I think it's going to be a good one if they're able to play their best tennis on that big moment.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. There you go, Kim Clijsters' analysis of the final.
Thank you very much. And Kim is one of our favourites, so Patrick's also one of our favourites. We don't want any guests to feel left out here on Live at RG. Someone else who's a favourite of the show, like everyone's a favourite right now, is a 3-time champion who gave us his thoughts ahead of the semi-finals and who Nick spoke to a little earlier.
Rafa is the god, is the one that we have to appreciate, we have to applaud daily, and I don't think that someone will be able to do what he ever did already, and probably will still writing some more pages. And Juan Martin, he was in the semis here almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He had a lot of trouble, suffering like myself in injuries and everything, and he was able to turn around. And now it's going to be a great end of tournament with surprise, with the big champion, the flavor of one South American and great top players, Juan Martin, and also Dominic, who who I believe it already deserve to feel this sensation of winning the Roland-Garros.
We're all sitting here smiling, listening to
It's
Gustavo Quinn.
infectious.
It really is. Just sitting here chuckling. Time is against us. Pat, can I thank you once again for coming in?
It was a pleasure for me.
Good luck with the rest of the tournament and moving into the grass with Serena. And if you're ever in the neighbourhood and you want to come and join us on set, then please
If I see
do
some
so.
light, I promise you I'll come.
Fabulous. And thank you, of course, to Nick and Camille. If you'd like to stay in touch with us, use the hashtag RG18 on Twitter. You can find us 7 p.m. local time daily. It might change a little bit around the finals, but tomorrow night, 7 p.m. local time on the Roland-Garros official platforms of YouTube and Facebook. It's been wonderful once again to have your company. Tomorrow, we will have reaction to men's semi-final day. The final lineup will be complete, so be back with us tomorrow, 7 p.m. See you then.